Update: my 37F husband, 33M, is on a cheating subreddit and I don't know if I should be mad. My original post was removed because of the comment karma cap, so I'm not sure if linking to it will work. To sum up the original post, I caught my husband commenting and sending messages to women on a cheating subreddit. The messages were explicitly about messing around behind my back, and the only ones I saw were from about a week ago. When he came home from work and knew I was upset, but didn't know why, he immediately deleted everything from that account, or so I thought. I confronted him that night after the kids went to bed. He asked why I was upset and I said I think you know why. He played dumb. When I finally told him that I saw the messages, he said it was just a few times and because he's bored and I seemed distant the past few weeks. He said he never did nor intended to meet anyone or do anything physical, it was just a turn-on because of the taboo. We had a long conversation about trust and openness. I said I understand the desire for something new, but I don't like that he went behind my back and did it with people outside of our relationship without my knowledge or consent. He knew that while I'm fine with and watch porn myself, messaging people crosses a line for me. I had told him so before, and I consider that borderline cheating. We agreed we had a lot of work to do, but that we can move forward and work on honesty and spicing up our sex life and being stronger in our relationship. He mentioned counseling and I said I think that's a good idea. It ended on a positive note. The next morning I was still feeling sort of unsettled about the whole thing and figured now is as good a time as any to try to verify this info, so I was going to look for more evidence on his desktop but tell him I did so. I knew he probably deleted everything anyway, but just to be sure. Well, it turns out he was not being honest with me. Mostly everything is wiped, but I found evidence of messages from throughout the past few years giving girls his Kik username and a secret email address to GCHAT, posts about being sick of vanilla sex with his wife and wanting some side fun, etc. I didn't find a lot of them, but I found a few dating back to a few months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. We've been married for a year and together for 3, so basically our whole relationship. We don't have vanilla sex, we're both pretty kinky and we've talked at length about fantasies, desires, kinks, etc. So I think it's just this fantasy of sneaking around behind my back, a cheating fetish he's had for a long time and not told me about. So I texted him and asked if he was being completely 100% honest with me about the messages and said now is your opportunity to come clean so we can move forward. He said it was just the one time, a stupid whim. This is when I went full Mad Queen torching King's Landing. I told him I know he's lying, so he might as well just tell the truth for once. He kept denying, saying he was looking through everything I could possibly see and didn't know what I was referencing, so didn't know what he did wrong. Y'all, I lost my damn mind. You shouldn't need to find the evidence in order to tell me what you did. I told him I don't believe a word he says and the trust is completely broken now. I was willing to trust him and believe his bullshit story and gave him the opportunity to be completely honest with me and he blew it. He admits everything he did was wrong, but still insists that it was just a harmless fantasy thing and didn't want to really meet anyone. To me, it doesn't matter at this point. I don't need more evidence. I know he's a cheater and a liar. He's begging me to give him a chance to make this right and stay in the relationship. I love him, we have young kids both from previous relationships, not together, and I don't want to destroy my family. But how do I ever trust him again? I don't know what I want him to do to prove that he's going to be honest. It seems like I can't trust anything he says now. The worst part is that I lost my very good job in March and now I'm home with our kids. Homeschooling while school is closed due to COVID. This was a mutual decision since he has a high-paying job and can't work from home and someone needs to be home with them right now. I feel so reliant on him and I don't know how to begin to get out of this situation even if I want to. Too long did not read. Caught my husband posting recent comments and messages on a cheating subreddit about wanting to sleep with people behind his wife's back. Confronted him and chose to believe his story that it was a one-time thing and just a fantasy and agreed to work things out. The next day found evidence of more messages over the course of our relationship soliciting women interested in cheating. Confronted him again and he lied about it. He eventually came clean, to what I know about, and says he will do anything to keep me and make it right. I'm crushed and don't know what to do. What a fucking piece of shit. I don't know what to tell you. He seems like a total slimebag that will tell you anything you want to hear just to keep himself out of trouble. Seems like he cares very little about you and your family. 1. Take pictures or screenshots of the messages. 2. Take them to a good divorce lawyer. 3. Tell the lawyer you want sole custody. 4. Move out with the kids and tell your ex to only speak to your lawyer. 5. File for divorce and live your best life. My ex did crap like this, and cheated in real life also. The first time I found him out was in the days of Adult Friend Finder. I set up a fake profile and some chats and agreed to meet. I met him, 7mo pregnant at the bar, and he quickly said that this was his idea of a romantic date and knew it was me the whole time. That set the stage. Every time I caught him he would lie through his teeth. I would have texts, emails, and the other woman's testimony at times. Never admitted it. My ex was also emotionally abusive, so I really hope you aren't going through any of that either. He's begging me to give him a chance to make this right and stay in the relationship. You already did. You gave him a chance to come clean, and he decided to double down on the lying and looked you right in the eye while he did it. How can you ever believe anything that comes out of his mouth ever again? For starters, you aren't destroying anything. He did that by lying to you multiple times. You are respecting yourself by leaving. You can find another job and leave when you do. My STB ex-husband did this exact thing. I literally showed him the evidence and he still looked me dead in the face and denied it. Or say shit like, you can't prove I did anything physical, so technically I never cheated. To the question of, how do I ever trust him again? That's not really something you do. Trusting him again means that he becomes trustworthy. That would be him doing the work, going to therapy, understanding what he did, learning to communicate, giving you however much time and space you need. You'll know when, if you can trust him, just like you knew when he wasn't. No offense to Dolly, but this isn't some stand by your man shit. Relationships can recover from infidelity, but it's not all or even mostly on you to revive it. Just know if you raise your kids in a house where you're married to him that it will negatively affect them. Children can tell when one parent hates another, and it's better in the long run for you to separate earlier rather than when they're grown up. His fantasy is literally sleeping with any woman other than you. That is what gets him off. Let that sink in. Oh, you seem distant the past few weeks, so that's practically forcing him to cheat, according to him, huh? What an garbage human being. His trickle-truthing you is both insulting and pathetic. You know this isn't the end of this. He'll keep doing it and eventually cheat for real. So make a plan. Get another job, build up savings, leave. Damn. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I know it sucks to have to break things apart, but you said it best. How do you trust him again? If he was on the cheating subs I think you're taking about, those places are filled with truly awful dirtbags. I think you should take screenshots and go see a divorce lawyer. Cheating, however small, is like a rotten fruit, it'll only get worse with time. Why do 37 years men have kick at all if it wasn't for anything like that? I am so sorry op. That would be a deal breaker for me. I could never trust him again. Makes me wonder if this is why his previous relationship, marriage, did not work out. You gave him plenty of chances to make it right and he still lied. If he has a cheating kink, things won't get better. He will need more and more risk to get that thrill, and he will now be better at hiding it. Sorry you are dealing with all this. So throw the whole man out. He doesn't care about honesty. He doesn't care about your feelings. He just wants what he wants. Talk to an attorney ASAP. Save all evidence you have for possible court. You will be entitled to a hefty chunk of child support, half the marital assets, and most likely alimony for several years. Especially if he makes that much more than you. You are not as reliant on him as you think. This sounds exactly like my ex. They don't change, all you can do is leave. I got a really good divorce settlement and am so much happier now. I'm so sorry you are dealing with this. Oh good. He'll be paying lots of child support. This is over. Don't tell him yet. Check for STDs, put your paperwork in a safe deposit box or somewhere safe, and see a lawyer. I can fucking relate. My mom cheated on my horrible dad, My dad called lawyer and after a conflict, they decided to completely split. I now am with my dad. Only 3 years together? That's a huge red flag to have such a big problem so early in a relationship. I would call it since he didn't even fess up when you said you knew, he'll keep lying. I'm in an extremely similar situation at the moment. Really don't know what to do either. He seemed so perfect before I found out too. I feel so reliant on him and I don't know how to begin to get out of this situation even if I want to. This is what child support and alimony is for. Just because you found reasons to leave doesn't mean you have to take immediate action. Start sandbagging and planning for the worst, just in case. If you want to sacrifice the relationship just yet, don't. Do counseling. See if it works. While you're converting anything you can to cash that you have on hand, invoice you need it if you decide to leave him. Avoid a pregnancy. Absolute twat. Divorce. There's no coming back from this. Accept it. You're right, he's a cheater and not just in messages, physically too, and I'd wager regularly too. If you can, play it cool and get your ducks in a row. Get a job and start your escape plan. The truth just keeps trickling out, doesn't it? I'm not sure I would wait for the next drop. I can't believe he tried to blame his cheating on you, aka, you were distant. What a loser. Quietly find a decent job and leave his ass. I think you should accept the money, accept the situation, but when the first opportunity for a cool job and housing situation comes up, seize it and hit him with that divorce. He sucks. My sister dated someone like this. And sure, he seemed so sweet most of the time. But he wasn't. It was just a facade. Oh, and surprise, he never stopped cheating. This guy has been cheating on you. He isn't worth the exposure to STDs and gaslighting. Someone like this will make you feel crazy. You really should do what you can to leave as soon as possible and get a divorce. You need to either A. Find a divorce lawyer ASAP or B. Enter intense couples therapy, but he needs individual therapy as well. This is a feeing mess. If he's been doing it your entire relationship, he's not going to stop anytime soon. I would cut him loose and file for alimony, child support. Can you look into some work from home you can do? A few schools are hiring office administrators to do work from home. Same with some hotel and even telecom, T-Mobile customer support services or WFM. This can be a start for you to get your finances on track so you won't feel reliant on him. This literally sounds word for word what happened with my first boyfriend. Like word for word. Except I just installed a keylogger and found literally everything. Totally illegal, but I didn't know that at the time, but it was a shared computer, so there's that. Golly, I hope this guy's name isn't Ryan. Turns out he was a pathological liar. Not just a cheater and in general P.O.S. Original post. The boys can still see each other when you separate. It's time to put yourself first now though. Do you want to stay? What do you want in your heart? I am sorry you're experiencing this. I can't even begin to imagine how you're feeling. But please copy all of his messages, the email, the comments, everything. Use as evidence and file for divorce. Your husband is a serial cheater, and from the sounds of your post he will not stop. He will only try to become better at hiding these things from you. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think counseling will fix this marriage. You should be with someone who wouldn't even consider treating you like this. That's not on the verge of cheating, that's cheating. And lying about it. For years. I swear when it comes to this shit, what they fess up to is probably 10% of what they are actually doing. If you hadn't snooped, what would be wrong with your relationship?